Hey you guys, so tonight I'm going to be making a recipe called stuffed spaghetti squash. I found it on Pinterest. I will leave the link below. The recipe calls for 1 spaghetti squash, 1 pound of Italian sausage, 2 cups of your favorite pasta sauce, 2 tablespoons of fresh basil, half a cup of ricotta cheese, half a cup of shredded mozzarella cheese, olive oil, and salt and pepper. So yeah, let's get started. Okay, so when I cook spaghetti squash, I was always taught to cut it in half. I've seen it a few times where people leave the ends on and just cut it down the middle. Traditionally, I've always cut the ends off and cut it down the middle after that. I'm going to try just leaving the stem on. You want to make sure you have a big knife and a really sharp knife, because this thing is hard to cut into. As you can see. All right, I'm actually going to try and just cut the end off first. I think it's going to be a little bit easier for me. I'm sorry you can't see very well. Jeez. Hi. I've also seen people bake it whole, and I haven't done that myself yet, but I just think it would be hard to cut into when it's piping hot. Okay, so inside of a spaghetti squash, if you've never seen it, has some seeds. I have preheated the oven to 400. Generally, I would just be doing this over a garbage can, but because I want to show you guys and I don't really want to show you my garbage can, I'm going to see if I can do it in this bowl. I don't know if I'm going to really be able to film it for you very well. Basically, it's kind of like the inside of a pumpkin. You've got these guts and seeds. Strings off there, and I'm gonna stick this in the oven and clean up, and I'll be right back. Okay, so this is the sauce I'll be using tonight. I got this at Costco. The recipe calls for 2 cups. There's quite a lot in this jar, so I won't use this whole jar. I'm gonna try to show a close-up. If you want to pause it. The nutrition label, there's no sugar in it, no added sugar, so we like that. And then just ricotta cheese. I'm going to chop up some basil and going to start cooking the sausage. Never know how to get these little packages open very well. And I just flung sausage. But I assume that's why you guys like to watch me, right? It's kind of a comedy hour. Okay, so I'm just going to wash my hands. Okay, so I'm just cooking up the sausage. Still pretty cold in the center, so I'm having a little bit of a hard time getting it broken up. I hope you can see okay. I'm sorry about the camera angle. We haven't really ate too much sausage. I made some breakfast sausage one time, but they were patties, and it was hard to make sure they were done in the middle without getting so brown on the outside. So I think brown sausage is going to work a little bit better. And just trying to break it up into small little bits. Got the spaghetti squash in the oven. have a different spatula I like using, but it is dirty currently, and I guess I could wash it, but I just grabbed this one kind of in a hurry. So here's what it looks like at the moment. I'm going to cook it down some more, and then I will bring you back to show you how it looks. So I've got the sausage done. I'm going to add the sauce, get that simmering. It says to add 2 cups of sauce. Here we go. This is a larger jar because I got it at Costco, so I'm not sure how many cups are in a standard jar. Okay, so I'm going to let that simmer. Going to check the next step of the recipe. I just have Pinterest on my phone. So you've got sauce is simmering, and then in a separate bowl combine ricotta, mozzarella, and fresh basil. Okay, so I'm going to eyeball the ricotta. I think that's probably a third. So that looks like a half to me. And then it's also half cup of shredded mozzarella. About a quarter. That's about a quarter. And then it also says you can add extra mozzarella to the top. And then I'm going to get a little chopping board and chop up some basil. Now I know you guys always give me grief about how dirty my cutting board is. I promise it's clean, it's just stained. So I'm going to chop up some basil. Right, and put it in the cheese mixture. Now, that's probably a lot of basil, but I suppose better too much than not enough. So here's what the spaghetti squash look like uncovered. I'm going to try to do this one-handed. I'm going to flip them over so they can hopefully cool a little bit faster. And so once they cool down a little bit, I will show you the next step. Okay, so the way my kitchen's set up, I'm not loving this angle, but you know, you do your best. So the spaghetti squash has cooled off a bit, and I like to just use tongs. And if you've never seen how spaghetti squash looks, ideally it should just kind of come out like that. Now, I'm not sure from the recipe. I know she says to fluff up the spaghetti squash, but I'm not sure if she means to just fluff it up and then top it with something with the sauce and cheese, or if she means to scoop it all out, mix the innards with the sauce, and then start layering. I'm not sure. So that's more of what I'm gonna do, just because I feel like if I pile this already on the spaghetti squash that's in there, there really wouldn't be enough room to pile the cheese and sauce and such. So I'm gonna go with it. We'll see how it turns out. So there's still some left in here because I want it to kind of remain like a bowl shape. And you can see a lot of it comes out, or you get a large volume of spaghetti or squash or whatever we want to call it. The other thing that you can do is really good is season it. I'm probably going to put some garlic salt on this just to add some yummy flavor. Parmesan cheese is also really good on this. So I'm going to add some garlic salt. And some Parmesan cheese, although my cheese is stuck, I think. There we go. Just needed a little bit of a stir. And I'm going to pull out the cheese mixture. Okay. So what I'm going to do, and I'm not sure if the recipe calls for this or not, I'm going to mix the sauce and the spaghetti squash together. Looks very yummy. See if we can load these back in. It suggests to do it in layers, kind of like lasagna. I want to make sure to get a lot of the sausage in there. Oh, making a mess. Daniel's in the shower. He just got home from running. So we'll have him taste test this in the end too. Okay, so we're gonna do cheese mixture. This is ricotta and mozzarella and basil. I'm actually going to get a spoon. Then whatever doesn't fit in here, I'll probably just have for leftovers tomorrow. But it says to really fill it full, so we'll give it a try here. And then once we get them stuffed full, then we're going to put it back under the broiler to melt the cheese and such. Oops. Lost some sausage. I don't know, these are huge portions, so we'll see how far we actually get in there. Okay, I don't know if I should pile it on or not. I think I want to leave it like that. Alright, so then it says to put more Parmesan cheese on it. I'm actually going to put a sprinkle of, excuse me, it says to put more mozzarella on it. I'm going to put a sprinkle of Parmesan on there. The only seasoning it really called for is the seasoning in the sausage. Alright. Some cheese on there. And I'm actually going to sprinkle a little bit of dried basil. I have fresh basil, but I don't have any cut. So I'm just going to do a little sprinkle of dry. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to put these back under the broiler, and I will pull them out and show you once they're done. So I moved the camera before I could show you how it looked coming out of the oven. So here is what it looks like after being under the broiler. And I'm just letting it cool a little bit. Daniel just got out of the shower, and so we'll try it in just a sec. Hi. Alright, so we are going to do a taste test. I already snuck a taste. I feel like I have garlic breath. We're funny. All right, let's hold up our plates. They're giant. What do you think of presentation?
Very nice. Maybe a little garnish on the side would be nice.
Oh, noted. Okay.
No, it looks amazing.
Are we ready?
Okay, let's do it.
Quite a layer of cheese on top.
Is it still really hot? It's probably really hot.
Probably.
Oh, it's steaming. Be careful.
Do you want to blow on my food for me?
It's straight out.
Okay, good. Mmm.
So how's this different than the other spaghetti squashes you made?
So the other spaghetti squashes I've made, I pull out all the spaghetti squash and I put the meat sauce on top.
Mm-hmm.
This is a layered effect. So you've got the spaghetti squash mixed with the meat sauce and then put back in. In the middle it has a layer of ricotta and mozzarella, more of the spaghetti squash mix, and then the mozzarella and Parmesan cheese on top. So see, if you look in the middle, there's some of the ricotta. So it's kind of like a mock lasagna.
Uh-huh.
What do you think?
I think it's good.
I think it's pretty good.
I think it's real good. Especially if you're the kind of person like me who used to just live on pasta before diabetes. And you want that kind of pasta taste. Because especially with all the cheese and meats, for sure. Just careful about eating some of that shell.
Oh yeah?
Just got a little bit there on the edge. Do I have cheese on it, beard?
No, you're good.
Feels like a beard.
You know, as far as spaghetti squash, wow, spaghetti squash in general, I mean, it doesn't taste like a bowl of spaghetti necessarily, but I still think it tastes good in itself. You know, so if you guys are debating on trying it, I definitely say give it a shot. It's pretty simple. I think the hardest part that I have cooking it is the cutting of it, which you guys saw. And other than that, you just pop it in the oven. So, yeah, lots of stuff you can do with spaghetti squash, and I think we will continue to.
Yeah, don't confuse. It's not going to be like spaghetti. But it has a nice kind of like slightly crunchy spaghetti kind of feel.
Mm. It's got a texture on it for sure.
But it's a good texture.
Mm-hmm.
I think you just want to make sure you don't let it be too moist, you know? Otherwise it's just
like a mushy. It can get mushy. And this might be bordering on mushy. I mean, there's definitely some liquid, but
it's hard to say.
Yeah.
It's so tempting to want to just dip some garlic bread in it.
I know. No bread, babe.
No bread. Bread is bad.
It's not bad.
Carbs are the enemy.
No, I don't agree. It's just on our meal plan, we try to
Carbs are the enemy.
stay away from bread and pastas.
Carbs are evil.
Some people do fine with carbs.
Kill carbs on site. Take no prisoners.
All right, guys. Let's kill diabetes. How about that? Screw diabetes. Jeez. Okay, we're going to have some food. We're going to watch the movie Spy with Melissa McCarthy. See what we think of that. She's pretty funny. All right.
Do I need to push a button for you?
No, I will. Say goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.